The Shadow Warrior by Pragash Bosco. Chapter: The Ritual of Ashes. The silence was thick, so thick it had weight. Ethan Kane stood at the edge of a forgotten forest in Eastern Europe, where the trees were blackened by war and the soil reeked of old blood. The coordinates had led him here, a place not found on maps, a place whispered about in soldier legends. "Don't do this," said General Vaughn through the comm. "You're chasing ghosts." Ethan clicked off the channel. He wasn't chasing ghosts. He was summoning one. The warlock lived in a crumbling monastery at the forest's heart, Ezra Blackwood. He wore robes stitched from shadow, and his eyes were blind but glowing. "You seek power," Ezra said, standing barefoot on a circle carved into the stone floor. "I seek invincibility," Ethan growled. "I'm done watching my men die." Ezra's lips twisted into a smile. "Then bleed." Ethan offered his palm. With a jagged obsidian knife, the warlock cut deep. Blood splashed onto the altar. Then came the chanting. The ground trembled. Candles exploded in blue flame. From the shadows behind the altar, something crawled into the room. It had no form, just a swirling blackness with glowing red eyes and a voice that sounded like metal dragged across bone. "Asgoth." "I offer you this flesh," Ezra spoke. Asgoth coiled around Ethan. He screamed as shadows poured into his mouth, ears, and eyes. It felt like drowning in ink, like 1,000 insects crawling under his skin. His bones cracked, his mind bent, and then silence. Ethan stood still, perfectly still. No pain, no fear, just power. Chapter: The Blood Baptism. 3 months later. Ethan Kane was a god on the battlefield, Afghanistan. Mission: Deep Recon. The enemy never saw him coming. He moved through the desert like a ghost. Bullets turned in the air before touching him. Rockets jammed in launchers. His enemies dropped dead mid-sentence, their hearts crushed by unseen hands. His comrades cheered. "He's invincible." But Ethan barely heard them. The whispers were back. Kill, feed, burn them all. Shadows moved on their own now. His reflection blinked when he didn't. Animals ran from him. Babies screamed. And sometimes, in the middle of combat, he blacked out. The worst was Helmand Province, Operation Reaper's Gate. The footage was classified, but Kara Mills got it. The video showed Ethan entering a rebel compound. 12 insurgents inside. By the end, only bones remained. Burnt, twisted. One was nailed to the wall with his own spine. And Ethan laughed. He didn't remember it, but he felt it. Something inside him danced with joy when he killed. Something ancient. Chapter: Shadows in the Mirror. Kara confronted him at a military gala. "You think you're a hero," she hissed. "You're a monster." Ethan grabbed her arm. "I don't remember doing those things." "But you did," she whispered. "And the more you kill, the more it takes." That night, Ethan stared into a mirror. His eyes were not his own. "Who am I?" he asked. From inside, Asgoth growled, "You are mine." Chapter: Betrayal in the Snow. General Vaughn sent Ethan on one final mission. Black Site 0, a rogue terrorist cell. But it was a trap. They knew. They brought in everything: EMP rifles, blessed bullets, holy water, drones armed with sacred runes. And yet Ethan still walked through the snow like death incarnate, until he stopped. His body trembled. A voice screamed inside him. Not this time. Not again. And then his arms moved on their own. He turned his rifle on his own men. He saw their faces. He killed them anyway. Chapter: The Warlock's Return. Ezra appeared in the smoke. "You fool," he said. "You fed it too much." "How do I stop it?" Ethan begged, eyes black with tears. "You don't," Ezra said. "You either let it win or die trying to kill yourself." Ethan dropped to his knees. "I won't let it win." He took the obsidian blade from Ezra's hand. He stabbed it into his own chest. Chapter: The Final Flame. Asgoth roared, trying to escape. Black tendrils burst from Ethan's mouth and eyes. The ground split. The sky turned red. Fire and ash rained from the heavens. Inside his mind, Ethan stood in a burning battlefield. Corpses of every person he ever killed surrounded him. And Asgoth towered over it all, 20 feet tall, made of teeth and agony. "You are mine," the demon hissed. Ethan charged. He fought the demon with a blade of light forged from every ounce of guilt, pain, and honor left in him. He screamed a name, his mother's, his fallen brother's, his own. In a final burst of light, he plunged the blade into the demon's heart. Epilogue: The grave of the warrior. They found a crater where the compound once stood. Inside, a corpse, unrecognizable, burned, hollow-eyed, still clutching a blackened blade. They buried him with full honors. "Hero," the stone read. But Kara Mills didn't believe it. She visited his grave every year. And every year she heard the same whisper in the wind: "I'm not done yet."